This is the Blockade Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rivas, aka Shut Your Trap, and this is my series about me being clueless, trying to do some maintenance on this thing here. So far, the little maintenance touches that we've been doing have proved successful, but I've got one today that is throwing me for a loop, and that is those numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 up on there that indicate how many players are going to be able to play based on how many coins you put in. When I put in for 2 players, usually that number 2 doesn't light. When I put in for 3 players, it's all good. So we're going to try working on that today, as well as doing a couple of little miscellaneous things that I have parts for. So let's get into it. Now when you walk up to the machine, you'll notice that the number 4 is lit, because it's saying, hey, 4 players can play at the same time. But as soon as you hit the start button, one player is lit, indicating that only 1 coin has been inserted. Hit the start button the second time, and now the number 2 is lit. But look, it just went out again. So this is what I'm having an issue with, is this number 2 here intermittently lights and then goes out when I'm in 2 player. Now watch what happens when I hit the button for a third time. Now it lights and it will stay lit the entire time. So I'm on the hunt to figure out what that is being caused by. So the first thing I wanted to check, because I really don't have any clue where to go from here, was that I wanted to see where the wire to the light bulb itself is going. So I'll angle down here and show you. These here are those lights, and this is my number 2 light. And if I look carefully on my number 2 light, I'm able to suss out it has a brown wire. That brown wire is going to come down all this way, this loom, down here, and after kind of figuring it out, I realized, hey, there's my brown wire, and it's going right into this Jones plug. So what I went ahead and did earlier was I pulled out the Jones plugs, and I took a Dremel with a wire brush, and I cleaned all these up, because I was just like, hey, let's make sure that the connection is not at fault, and that that's not the issue. Unfortunately, that didn't solve anything. So with the Jones plug not being the issue, I'm figuring it's got to be something inside the cabinet itself, mainly being the something to do with the player count. Again, I don't know the terms of these things. And unfortunately, me looking at the schematics didn't really help me find anything. So I'm just going to do some investigation and see what I see. All right, so here we are in the guts and all of these relays. And as I'm looking at everything, fortunately these are labeled, I see this: add a player unit relay. And it's labeled P. And if I come over here and move all these wires, hey look, there's P. So I'm thinking it's got to be something maybe in this. And maybe it's just a matter of cleaning up some contacts. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have this loose, it's easy to pop out. And as you can see, this is just a little magnet action in the coil here. And when that magnet fires, it pulls down. And by pulling down, it's going to move some of these switches. So right now, on this side here, that is open and that is open, while these 2 are closed. When this goes down, because of the magnet, it closes these 3 and leaves this one open. On the other side of the world, looks like that is open and that is open while this one's closed, and when this pinches down, it closes those 2 and opens up that one. Do I know how they're supposed to be? No, I don't, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean I can't give them a quick clean while we're here. So I'm just going to take my flex stone and just kind of get in there and do a little quick scuff. Make sure that these are at least getting a clean contact. All right, put it back in. Now, I'd like to tell you that that was the first time I took that out, but I've already tried it, and it didn't do anything. So I kind of reached out, asked some other people some other questions, and they were saying, okay, well, if that's not the issue, then it is the player count unit, I believe. So we're going to look at that and see if we can't fix it that way. All right, so looking at the front of the machine, when you come in through the coin door, hey, there it is, right past the chimes. You have this here. This is what counts the coins and how many presses of the start button that you do. Now, if I come around on the other side of it, you'll see it's got this lovely stepper unit. And all these little springs inside that make connections with all those rivets. So, what happens? If we activate our coil here, you'll see, push it 3, here's 4, and 4, that goes all the way open, and then it doesn't do anything more. Once everybody has played, this one right here activates and reverses the entire process until it doesn't go anymore. So it only steps 4 times, and then it backs off the 4 times. So we know position 1, it's fine. Position 2 is having an issue. Position 3 is fine. And position 4, it's fine. So what I'm thinking is, we just need to get in here and do some cleaning. Now, should I disassemble the entire thing, or should I clean right here? I'm gonna clean right here. Well, it looks like if I want to have any chance of cleaning this, I am gonna have to actually take this off the board so I can tilt it and have access to everything. So, gotta do it the hard way, I guess. Okay, so as you can tell, I had to, it's a little bit of a manipulation. I did use a Sharpie to mark my positions so everything could go screwed back in the place. I haven't fastened it down back into the bottom of the cabinet yet, just because I kind of am feeling like the alignment might be slightly off. But I did grease everything, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the machine and see if this did what it was supposed to do before screwing it back down, because I have a feeling that the alignment is just a touch off. So we'll see. As you can see, now none of the lights are lighting. So like I said, I felt like the alignment was off, so I'm gonna now adjust the alignment of them and make sure they're making good contact. So remember when I started this series, I made a point of saying, hey, don't fix what's not broken, because you might just break it further. I'm now not getting any lights at all on the 1, 2, 3, 4. None. I cleaned the unit, I greased the unit, I realigned the unit, nothing. I jiggled the unit back and forth, kind of tried to check out the alignment, nothing. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I mean, I did take the 1000 grit sandpaper to the contact points. I've done that on everything else. I didn't push hard, just enough to get it clean. I don't know. Is it possible to rub off too much on the contact points? I made them shiny. That's what I really don't know. So I think this is going to be one of those things where I'm going to move on and do some other things and hope that, like other issues on this machine, after a few plays, after a couple of wipes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that maybe it'll magically come on. But for right now, I have no clue. So comments, please, suggestions. I really am. I went from having only one light working for one phase to no light working for all phases. That's frustrating. So I guess what we're going to tackle next is, you can see beer guard was applied to the glass on both the top of the glass and the bottom of the glass. So I'm gonna strip that off, as well as taking it out of the lock bar and putting fresh rubber inside of there. Well, that tape was really nasty and sticky, but got most of it off. Enough that now I have a, what I'm going to say, a clean surface to apply the new beer guard. I mean, it's still got some stick, but that's going to be covered up anyway. So I'm not too terribly worried. And this is our beer guard. And so that's just going to go into place. And we've got a little bit extra on the end, so I'll trim that off also. Make that all work. All right, so that fits on really nicely. And the ultimate test is, I put my quarter down and it stays there. It doesn't slide underneath. I mean, that's the important part, right? Now, I'm gonna do something I'm gonna power this up. Let's see in the what happened while I was busy doing that. Wait a second. Oh! Oh! Okay, this is me really happy. Because it freaking works now. What happened? Was it that it had to have the lock bar down? Did the door have to be I don't know. But look, numbers. God, I love EMs. They just fix themselves. So we're going to move on to the next thing that I want to work on this, and that is I ordered up some LED lights from Comet Pinball. I have no clue if I'm even going to like LEDs on this, and more to the point, what like whites am I going to go with? Am I want frosted? Do I want clear? There's a myriad of things. So I ordered up what they have is a sample pack. It's 20 LED lights, about 5 wedge style, the rest are bayonet. I'm just going to show you the bayonets that they sent along. And we're going to put a few of these in the machine and see what we think. So here's the various white that we have. And then there's also some color lamps that they gave. I don't think I'm going to be putting any colored lamps into this. But we'll throw them in, see what they all look like. So on the left side, I've got 3 LEDs in. On the right side, I've got my incandescents still. So in this first spot, we have the Retrobolt Clear Sunlight bayonet. You can see it under there. Then we have the Natural White bayonet. And then the Retro Bullet Frosted Warm White. So if I come back here, you can really see this is too cool on this. It doesn't have the warm glow on either of these. It's really showing this just a bluish tone as opposed to the warmth of the incandescent here. This bullet, however, that's looking, look at that compared to the other, I can't tell the difference. So that's an interesting test. So I'm going to move this one forward to here so I can see what it looks like being visible. I'm going to try a couple of other lights on just these surface mounts and before I start doing anything on the underside to see what that looks like. All right, here we are with round 2. So this, the Retro Bullet Frosted, so it's bullet. I previously had it up here. I now put it right here in the front. But then we just have the Retro Frosted Warm, not a bullet. So these are the exact same color tone. And if you look at it with the incandescent, it's pretty dang close in terms of tone. The only difference, and I do gotta say, and I don't know if this picks up on light, I actually like, you know, being able to see the clear as opposed to being frosted. That's just kind of a look I like, but that's got the color, right? So then up here, this is the Flux Warm White. This is apparently for controlled lamps that may have flickering. There is no controlled lamps on this thing, so this one is not necessarily needed. Apparently it's like $1 more. So if I try this out on my 8-Ball Deluxe, I think that's when this one would be important. You can see the difference in the color between incandescent and that one. I don't really care for this tone. All right, so just for fun, I decided to throw in some color. I put in, so we got Purple Passion, and I'm just gonna dip down here so you can see that. It's more of a clear, it is a clear lens when it's lit up like that. And then we have the just frosted purple bayonet, which is underneath there on that one. I gotta say, that looks kind of cool, because I mean we do have the purple in the slingshot. That's a look. I don't mind saying. I'm very tempted to do that, and I think I would honestly, I'd go with this one because this one looks better. More of the style that I'm liking. What do you think? Is that something that would be outlandish, as opposed to going regular incandescent, just have that regular glow, but to go something funky like that? Now on camera, this doesn't really pick up. This is a red compared to just regular. It's really red in person. I just threw it in there to see, but it's too much red. Don't like that at all. All right, a couple more combinations. So I moved the frosted purple up here to the front, and then I put in a yellow frosted just to see what it would do with the yellow here. I think I'd rather just have a regular color yellow there or go all purples. And then I moved that purple passion up to here, but it really just like blows out the thing, makes it look alien. Which, I mean, that can be appropriate, but I don't, that's almost a little too intense. So I'm just thinking that the purples might work good underneath the slingshots. But again, I don't know if I want to go that route and start colorizing everything, because that can be an overkill. Well, it's good and dark now here. At the end of the day, you might have noticed I put the purple lights there in the slingshots just to see what it was like to play in pitch black. Interestingly enough, my kid came in and immediately was like, "Oh gosh, that purple," and then complained of it getting him a headache, which I've read that some people just cannot take the LEDs because there's that to the naked eye, you can't see it flashing, but it's there, it's doing that strobe. And that was interesting that it affected him. So I'm really on the fence as to whether or not I will go ahead and LED this or not. If I do, I don't think I'm going to do any colors. I think I'm just going to do the warm and see where we go from there. I think more important is I will do rubber. That's get some tighten the rubber in here and make this thing much more bouncy. I'm so pleased to get those numbers working, properly lit. I still have no idea why there for a moment it wasn't working at all. That freaked me out just because I was just like, damn it, I ruined something. But that's part of the experience, right? It's sitting there learning and doing. And then the beer guard, that was easy, just a little bit of cleanup. So, what does that leave to do on this machine? There's really not a whole lot more that's been nagging at me. I still need to do an attempt at really cleaning the playfield, get rid of those the dirt and ball swirls that are there. And then, once that has been completed, I think it is time to wax this puppy up and just enjoy the hell out of it. And then it's time to move on to 8-Ball Deluxe. So, appreciate you viewing. If you have any comments for me about this, thoughts, please let me know. I'm kind of flying blind, and I like reading people's opinions on what to do with this era of machine. What's sacrilege and what is completely necessary. All right, till then, bye.